What's going on, America's team, Cowboy Nation, the greatest fan base, the greatest organization, sports franchise in history? We are here. First video, guys. So please, if you do happen to run across this, your opinion is very much appreciated, man. Things I could do better, things you would like to see, man. If I should just hang it up, I probably won't listen to that anyway. But it's much appreciated. But I want to talk all things Cowboys, NFC East, man. We're gonna start this up. And if you do play Madden or you're a PlayStation fan, man, get at me, man. About 350. Just how it is. Tag down below, man. Add your boy, man. But with that said, man, let's talk NFC East, man. So I'm very happy. Very happy, man. We're getting sports back. Hopefully we can get a full season this year with the NFL. Basketball's back on. I've been watching a lot of that. But last year hurt me, man. Just made everything slow up. So first off, I'm not one of those fans that don't show respect. So I'm a round of applause to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Wentz was talked about not being able to show leadership. And I think last year he was able to shut a lot of people up with that, man. With practice squad players playing a talented team, even though Dallas was up and down. We were up and down, man. Garrett and all that stuff. We had a lot of stuff going wrong, man. I think the team gave up on them. Even though we smacked Philadelphia earlier, when it mattered, then they showed up, man. So I'm a fan of Wentz, Carson Wentz. I think he's far more talented than Dak Prescott. I just think Dak Prescott, work ethics, whatever you want to call it, man, he's improving year after year. And to this point, I take Dak over Wentz, man. A fourth round talent in the same conversation with Wentz, first round pick. Man, there's really nothing else really you can say, man. You can dislike the guy, whatever you want to do, but the best ability is availability. So with that being said, hats off to Carson Wentz and Peterson. I'll give a lot of credit to Peterson as well, not just Carson Wentz. Because you have to draw your team together to not give up on you like my Dallas Cowboys did give up last year on Jason Garrett, which I appreciate the Philadelphia Eagles for that as well, because, man, if we would have beat you guys, man, that would probably have been Garrett one more year, and I ain't got the heart for that, man. I was on suicide watch, I tell you, a lot last year. So, but NFC East, man, we back. The most entertaining division in all of sports. I don't care what you say. Don't at me. But I believe it's a two-man race, Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles. I believe we'll split. I think it's neck and neck. I can see us going the same. But I do think Dallas is going to win this division this year. I do believe Washington has a long way to go. I like what they're doing defensively. They got a new coach, Rivera. He's a great coach. They just got a lot going on over there, man. From football to internal issues, I think that's going to be a big, distraction with them going on. The Giants, they're close. I don't like the Giants either, but they're close. I like Daniel Jones, man. I like Saquon, of course. You know what I mean? I think they just need more weapons, and they need a defensive line. They need some pass rush, man. Our teams are going to keep eating them up, man. Especially teams that got running games and can pass, So the NFC East, you never know what you're going to get. People forget how good the Washington Redskins were not too long ago. They were a threat. They were knocking teams off. So a lot of coaching changes through the NFC East. I think everyone has a new coach except for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I do got a couple of buddies that do see it as an advantage for the Philadelphia Eagles having the same coach going in. But as much as it is an advantage, I think it's a disadvantage. Now, hear me out. So, Philly, their plan is to get speed on the field and run them boys vertical, win some weapons, which isn't a bad plan. We see a lot of teams doing it, but at the same time, there's ways to counter that. You got the Chiefs over there, man, running speed crossings and deep posts and flies, man. Can't nobody keep up with Tyreek Hill and all those guys. But I don't think it's going to be the same, man. I don't think it's going to work out like that, man. You got too many unproven factors at wide receivers. You guys claimed you had great wide receivers, and all of a sudden, Aguilar wasn't a receiver, but y'all raved about him not too long ago. Same thing with Jeffrey. He's been injury prone, but he was a great receiver, and then when things weren't going right, you guys threw him in the trash. He's trash, and all this and that. Don't forget, the Cowboys were the leading team in drop passes last year. We keep that up there, man. So we can all make those excuses, is what I'm trying to say, long story short. But, again, two-man race, Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys. I do believe the Dallas Cowboys do win the division, okay? For the simple fact, Philadelphia, we know what you guys like to do, what you're going to want to do. It's no secret, man. You guys like to say, well, Carson Wentz did all this with no wide receivers. Pause. When you guys had wide receivers, again, Aguilar and Jeffrey, they were good, man. They were good. Last year, not so great, and injury prone. But with that being said, man, you guys have always went to your tight ends, So let's not act like it's because lack of production and things like that. Carson Wentz, as soon as he hikes the ball, he's looking for that tight end, man, that safety net. So, I think that played a lot into the yards and the wide receivers and things like that going on with them. So that's going to be very interesting to see what goes on this year. So, but as far as going out the race, let's talk about just, I guess, the cores of these teams myself. I'm going to go more Philadelphia and Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, Washington fans. Sorry, Giants fans. Y'all make some noise this year. Man, down the road there'll be some videos about you guys. But offensively, man, I believe Dallas is killing Philadelphia. You can make an argument Wentz is better than Dak. I'm going to make my argument Dak is better than Wentz. I believe Wentz is more talented. I just think that Dak, year after year after year after year, has proven himself, has gotten better year after year. And so I have no reason to believe that he won't come out the gate playing good ball. So I'm excited to see that. It seems like Wentz has to get his, going for a while, man. You guys have been starting out pretty shitty for a while. Excuse my language, but you guys kind of have. So I believe we got the better wide receiver core. Definitely got the better running back. I believe offensive lines, Dallas took a step back. I think Philadelphia offensive line is pretty good, but you guys had some injuries. So I think both lines are going to be up in question, being that we got some moving parts and some new things we're doing. Definitely Philly has the better tight end core. You know what I mean? Goddard and Ertz, man, are fucking monsters. But I just think offensively, we just got too much. You're not going to know what to do with Ezekiel Elliott back there, man. The horse, man, the freight train. And he just has great games against Philadelphia. Then we got Pollard. I think Pollard is going to be amazing. I think he's going to get more touches. We're going to see him on the field more. We don't have it's number 10 on our team that we had, a little scat receiver, whatever. But I think Pollard can line out there in that slot with CD, with Amari, with Gallup, and I think they're only going to get better and better, man. One of the more things I'm excited about with this offense with the Dallas Cowboys is we don't have Witten anymore. I'm a huge Witten fan, man, but if we're gonna be completely honest, Witten was handicapping this offense. It was because he just was in good with the coaching. He was a Garrett guy, a yes guy, and he didn't have any yak yards. He couldn't burn you down the field. He was no threat down the field. So defenses, they were just able to, hey man, we're gonna crowd that line. If you're gonna pass it, we're gonna put help over the top. We're gonna double Amari. Gallup has some issues with dropping, but Gallup will still get open. But Dak's press with blanket was Wentz Witten for a long time, man, and defense were able to just sit on Witten. He wasn't going to beat you. You line up 5 yards down on the line, and and he was doing 2-3 yards turning around, and he wasn't getting, like I said, you caught the ball. That's where he was going down at. So It was painful to see, and I just don't understand why we didn't get Jarwin on the field a whole lot more. But this year we don't have to worry about it. So I'm excited about that. I believe that's going to force defenses when they're playing us to think, your safety, your strong safety, or your linebacker, whoever you have lined up to guard Jarwin. It's going to make them think for a split second. And in this game, I mean, it's a bang play. So a split second is all the time you need, man. That's the difference between a catch, an interception, or a deflection. So with that said, I'm excited to see what we're going to do with our tight end play offensively. And with all that I just went over with as far as offensively and all of our threats, they're already saying we're going to be a top offense, wide receiver core, top 5 easily. You got the Buccaneers over there, you got Arizona over there. People were saying Houston. I'm not, but Dallas, man, we're up there, man. Like wide receiver wise, man, we got a good young core. CeeDee Lamb, Yak, man, that's Lion, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my, I'm telling you, man, we're not, and that's without mentioning running backs. You forget how good Zeke is with the ball, catching the ball, and the same thing with Pollard, man. He's a great receiving back as well, and can run between the tackles like Zeke. So he just needs to get more touches. We'll be good. But even with all that offensive that we just went over, kicking, we got a new kicker, man. Like. Last year, we are in the playoffs. Make a field goal here, make a field goal there, So that's we don't have to worry about that so much anymore. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a very big benefit to this Cowboys team. So another good positive for this Dallas Cowboys team on both sides of the ball. Man, we're building it from the ground up. We don't have handicapped, clapper, predictable Jason Garrett anymore, man. Like, he's gone. For 10 years, man, we've been in the same situation. Almost, man. And I can tell you, Garrett lost us some games last year, man. No kicker competition, not cutting anybody, let them know how serious this is. And especially being that this was a make or break year for Jason Garrett, you would think he would have had more fire. He would have took more chances instead of being so safe and kicking field goals with all the issues we had with kicker. That he would be willing to go for it more on 4th down, not being so preservative, So that's a great thing. Now that we got McCarthy back there, we got a new offensive line coach. Even though I don't think we had an issue with our offensive line last year, but new offensive line coach. Defensive coach, Richard's out of here, which leads me to talking about defense a little bit. So before I let you guys go, defensive, man, new coaching, new scheme. I hear we're going more with a hybrid. I'm excited, man. We did lose Byron Jones, which that's scary. It is scary, especially with the Awuzie, because Awuzie was always in plays, man. He just never turned his head around. Like, he was always there, always just this close. So that's a technique thing. That's a coaching thing, because I mean I know they talk about takeaways, man, but really, I mean, that's always been an issue with us, man. Takeaways and turnovers. So I like to pick up with Diggs. I believe that's going to help. That's a physical corner. Mess up timing on a lot of those routes. Awuzie, I think we were playing him wrong. We played him so far off the ball. If you go back and watch just a lot of critical situations and downs, I'm talking 3rds and 7s, 3rds and 5s, passing downs, 3rd and 4s. A lot of times Byron would be closer to the line to stop that, but Awuzie was always 7 to 10 yards off the receiver, and it just made no sense to me why he played so far back, like on a 3rd and 3 or a 3rd and 5. We already knew where the ball was going, and for some reason I don't know. It's like we didn't care too much, man. Like we just wanted to protect Byron Jones or something like that. So that's the reason why I definitely, Byron Jones is a great corner, but I try not to discredit him at all because he's an awesome cornerback. But I think those numbers are a bit fabricated a bit. It's like we directed traffic towards Awuzie, knowing for whatever reason it was. You know what I mean? So with that being said, defensively, I like the picks that we've added, the additions with the free agency. We got some beefier guys on that defensive line. So what that's going to do for us, it's going to help us develop some of those corners more. Messing up timing routes, Diggs being a physical receiver. I think that we changed the scheme a little bit with our corners and what we like to do, putting positions in, players in positions to succeed. And what we want to do is gonna help us out a lot. So beefier guys to get more pass rush. We don't know what we got in Alden Smith that we picked up, but if he's anywhere close, half of what he was, I mean, it's going to be an issue. We got Crawford back. You got Tank on the other side. He's hungry. He's been disrespected for far too long. Yeah, y'all forget that he was leading the league like high up there in pressures. He got a lot of doubles, which freed up Quinn on the other side to get a lot of those pressures and sacks. And Quinn got paid. So it's the reason why I'm kind of like, man, I'd like to go get Jadeveon Clowney, man, because these people that want to prove themselves, man, feel like they're being disrespected, man, come here and they show out, man, and that's we need some hungry beasts like that on that line. But offensives, they're still going to test that middle of that defense of the Cowboys. But I believe having the beefier guys up there on the defensive line, it's going to allow our linebackers to step and do what they're supposed to do, survey the field, step into those running lanes. We can get Smith, Jalen to attack, hit that quarterback. He's good with pressures. We can have LVE. I'm hearing that they're doing. McCarthy just had a little press conference 2 days ago, I believe, and they're talking about switching positions. They're gonna have LVE playing middle linebacker, surveying the field. You got the general out there to kind of direct traffic, and I mean he's good for those guys. So I'm liking what we're doing there. LVE seems like he's healthy. I'm kind of hoping that there's no issues with that neck. But if not, man, if Jalen able to do what he's able to do, LVE is great in space. He plays 7-on-7, man. So I think he's in a better position where he is now. I believe we got an upgrade there at safety as well. So with that being said, teams aren't just going to be able to gouge us in the middle and keep that defense on the field for as long as they kept us on last year, man. It was a liability, and it was obvious, man. Teams like the Vikings, the Packers disrespecting us, man. I was tired of being disrespected last year. So I'm liking what these Cowboys, this coaching and Jerry is doing. I think we're going to be very, very dangerous this year, guys. We got new special teams coach, cornerback coach, wide receiver coach, offensive line coach, man. So the training wheels are off, Dallas Cowboys fans. There's no more excuses. It's now or never. And why not us, man? Until next time, man, I'm going to try to post some more videos. Let me know what you guys think. If you don't mind, subscribe, like. Again, your feedback is much appreciated. Cowboys, let's get it.